Hey everybody, my name's Thomas. It's time to talk about some Blood Bowl League of Blood Bowl, of course. And we're going to start things off like we always do, talking about my team and some team management. I had 2 levels up from last week, and they're both on little goblins. Unfortunately, someday, my friends, you'll be able to actually injure people, like your good buddy Dr. Friday the 13th. But yeah, I got 2 levels up, and I normally probably would have gone for sidestep here, but I decided to go for diving tackle. Diving tackle is a pretty good skill, I think anyway. Anytime someone moves out of the goblin's tackle zones, the goblin flops on the floor, but applies a -2 to the dodge, which for the most part means that anything that isn't a 6 is going to be failed. So it's pretty good. Pretty good. So basically I'm using this to help my screen and help my defenses. May end up regretting this choice because these guys might just get punched, but still, I think diving tackle is a good call. None of them got doubles or anything. I probably get 1 up to be, like, when one of these people levels up, I'll probably give them dirty player if they don't get sneaky get or something. Or kick or something. I don't know. If I get a doubles, I'm just going to panic and not know what to do. But yeah, diving tackle should help me defend a little better and just give these goblins some utility, whereas right now they're just bodies that sometimes hit. Purchasing decisions, let's take a look at what happened last week. My game did not record very well. I had a crash and this game didn't happen. Luckily, I guess. This game did. Video for this did not happen due to the aforementioned crash. I tried to do some replay recovery for it, but I just ran out of time to do it, so it's not happening. So there's no game to click on over here, but basically I made some not so good play decisions, and yeah, they got outscreened, and I got really unlucky on a couple of blocks and dice, and she got more defender downs than I did. And for dodgy teams, that's a pretty key thing. Did manage to get some punching in there. Got 2 casualties and a death. Cost 3 casualties of my own. The death was on a mercenary lineman, so nothing too significant there. Nothing permanent, I believe, either. No missed next games or anything like that. Took out the rat ogre pretty early, so that was nice. But at the end of the day, nothing too substantial from it. Fouls are pretty good, by the way. So yeah, I did really well at stalling out and putting lots of pressure on her and punishing mistakes, but Great Egg was able to score because it's Skaven. And one tiny slip up for me meant that the ball was out of my hands and into the hands of a really fast gutter runner who just touchdowned it really hard. All I can do there, but some pretty good SPP nonetheless. I got 60,000. I was happy to roll a 6 when losing. Didn't lose any fan factor either, so that's still going okay. So yeah, I'm at 180,000 now. I don't know if I'm going to fill these out. We'll kind of see where we are. I'm at 1,100 now, which is pretty high for a Goblin team value. We're going to see where the other teams are before I decide to buy the Bombardier and the Final Goblin. It's going to happen eventually. I just don't know if it's going to happen this week. Which is kind of a lame thing to do, but whatever. Got another reroll I could buy as well, but that's a lot of team value sink for not a lot of gain, and we'll see. I like having the cushion to replace a troll if I need to as well. So that's what happened there. Let's take a look at the other side of the equation, like we always do. See how Grey Duck fared on this. 70,000, always good to roll a 6. Maybe I rolled a 5 because I think I had +1 fame, so I rolled a 5. Either way, 60 is still great. But 70,000 is definitely a 6, and that is good news there. Level ups, got a level up on this lineman who got +1 agility, which is pretty good, I think. Another 4 agility piece is awesome. Yes, it's only 7 movement instead of 9, but the 3 strength is a big deal. It's an absolutely big deal. Adds a lot of team value, naturally, +40 for that alone. I still think it's a great deal. An extra person to pick up the ball, an extra person that can throw the ball. Just having a 3 strength 4 agility piece is going to be really handy for this team. So with all of the money. We had 60, 30, 90, 160, minus 50 for that, so it's at 110. So yeah, she picked up a thrower finally. A thrower is a similar thing to the 4 agility lineman. Thrower actually is a really good value over a lineman, though. You get 2 skills for only plus 20 more instead of plus 40 like it normally be. Sure hands, 3 agility actually is slightly better odds of picking up the ball than a gutter runner, which is pretty amazing. Yeah, so that'll definitely help. Just having a thrower that can get passing skills and stuff is handy. Hamburg Rogers. You know, normal, general and passing, good things. I think accurate, certainly in the future, but the thrower just gives more options. You have another person that can pick the ball. You can more dedicate a gutter runner to being deep, which either one of these could benefit from. We'll see Rat Ogre, 2 SPP still, nothing there. These 2 gutter runners are almost certainly going to level up next week, I assume. 3 touchdowns away from getting level 4 in this gutter runner already, which is crazy. Yeah, so this team is progressing quite nicely. 40k in the bank. I think next probably look to pick up the next gutter runner, I think is the next item on the agenda. Don't really need a second thrower right away. Arguably you don't need one at all, but I think it's too good of a value to not get the second thrower. Yeah, 4th gutter runner is definitely the way to go on the next step. 4 rerolls is kind of unnecessary for this team. You can do it, but I don't think it's necessary. Certainly you're going to blow through 3, but 3 is generally enough to cover all the bad things that happen. So let's get moving on to the next game here. Our last game of the week, but the most interesting one was Chaos versus Ogres. I was totally wrong on this one. Ogre did not walk away with the win, which was surprising. Let's take a look here. 50,000 for Chaos with a 1-0 victory right at the end. From what I understand, the Ogre team had 3 boneheads on turn 1. There was just a lot of damage dealt on both sides. From what I remember, he was pretty much down to 5 ogres at the end, and that's about it, at one point anyway. And then at some other stage, just the ball was kicked really deep on a half, and Chris just could not manage to pick up the ball before Beastmen got down there and did bad things, and got the ball and managed to run it in for a little teeny tiny bit, which is all you need to do, honestly. 1 touchdown takes it away. 2 casualties dealt, 3 casualties sustained. Ogres hit very, very hard, but still 2 casualties and a death. The death was apparently a fall over. I'm not quite sure what this 3rd casualty is. I'm guessing it's a similar situation where there was a fall over. Stunty guys, they're very fragile. But yeah, another death caused by self, which ruses the Ogre team a little bit. We'll get into that in just a second, but lower team value ended up getting a free reroll out of this, so looks pretty good. You can see the injuries here. Ooh, Chaos Warrior and the Minotaur getting missed next game is really rough. This team does not have a lot going for it then. So all 3 of these casualties were missed next game injuries, which is good. Kind of level up here in this Beastman, and that is a dirty player pickup on this Chaos Warrior. Okay. I don't agree with that pickup at all. Dirty player just adds damage to fouls, which you really don't want to be fouling with your Chaos Warriors because they're kind of the key elements of this team. Looks like he bought a Beastman as well to fill this out. Let's take a look at the chart here. So 70, 40, 110, 160. So 60 was spent. So it looks like he bought a... Yeah, he bought into the Beastman before the match took place, from what I remember. That's an interesting choice. I can kind of understand that because the Chaos Warriors don't add that much, I guess, but saving yourself the MVP loss can be valuable. Which looks like this Chaos Warrior got... Or no, must have been this one. Yeah, this dirty player pickup doesn't make a lot of sense to me. At this stage, I think you save for the reroll still. We talked about that last week, but I think that's still what you want to do. 690 for this team value. It's a bit ridiculous. Level up will put it to 710. And then another 180 will be 890. for next week. That's, yeah, because plus 200. So yeah, 890. That's so low for a chaos team. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't even know. This is rough. Yeah. So Beastman level up. Couple options for that. I think some sort of utility skill wouldn't hurt. Kick would not be, wouldn't be too out of line, honestly. Would give them more control over the ball, and as this game demonstrated for them, being able to kick deep is very valuable for this team. Kicking short is also very valuable too, so we'll see. I don't know. Lots of options. Another hitting skill wouldn't hurt though, like block. Wrestle wouldn't be too bad either, just to deal with other ball carriers that may get block. Having the horns blitz option plus block or wrestle is really good. Actually, no, I'm getting way too my head of myself and forgetting everything. Extra arms is what I would recommend for this Beastman. Make this Beastman your ball carrier. They have the highest movement allowance, and this one is not injured, so yeah. You know all that babbling. Extra arms is what I would get, assuming it isn't a doubles or a stat increase. Yeah, I think you get movement allowance. But anyway, extra arms will give this team a dedicated ball handler, at least one dedicated ball handler, which will just help immensely. I think that's definitely the way to go for this team. Let's take a look at the Ogres, now that we've rambled way too much about that. I'm still stunned that he won. Chris's bad luck. Rolled a 60 though, so not too bad there. Snotling is dead. 90,000, so that's just for this. Yeah, it's the Apothecary, and then this. I almost think that you want to start filling out with Snotlings here. Consider up 3-roll. This is the same conversation we had last week. What does this team spend money on now that there's the Apothecary? A third reroll is probably relatively helpful, especially because Ogres don't have loner on the Ogre proper. Yeah, no level ups though. Lots of SPP for the Ogres though. Well, lots. Looks like the MVP went to a Snotling here, but or went to the Ogre. Who can say? Must have gone to the Ogre. 1, 2. Yeah, Ogre got the MVP, so that's good. All these Ogres are going to level up pretty soon, except for obviously this one who's level 2 already. But the other Ogres are all in good position to lane up. So maybe buy some Snotlings, maybe not. Save it for the reroll. This team can kind of do whatever. It's still the Ogre team. Match number 3 was Goblins versus Wood Elves. Not surprised to see Wood Elves here. Andrew did record his game. There'll be a link over here in case you haven't seen it. Take a look at the match record chart here. 40k for the winning. Lots of damage on both sides. 1 casualty dished out for Andrew, and 2 casualties sustained for the one, so must have been a fall over here. Oh no, chainsaw. We'll do that as well. Never mind. The secret weapons throw me off constantly here. Interception with a troll happened. That alone should make that game worth watching. It's pretty amazing. 2 passes, 2 catches, so some SPP there. 2 touchdowns. Yeah, this team did just fine here. 2, 4, 10, 15 SVP for the team is not too bad compared to the 2, 4, 9 for the Goblin team. Still, 40k, pretty good. It's certainly hard not to complain about. Well, it is easy to complain about that because that's not that great of a roll, but still, 160 is a pretty good deal. And should have seen some level ups here, I think. Looks like just the one here. The mistakes came on this lineman. Block on this lineman here. I think that's fine. I think kick would still have been a better call. I think kick cannot be undervalued for a team like this, but it'll happen. I'm not super worried. This word answer is even closer. Didn't get any closer to getting. Maybe it did. I don't know. Whatever. This word answer is going to be level 2 very soon, though. It's just going to happen. Throw is alone will make that happen. Let's see here. Yeah. Slow, gradual elf SPP build. In terms of what to do, I talked to Andrew a little bit about this. I think that a thrower is in order here. A thrower just adds more dimension to this team, adds a dedicated passing, so you don't have to use linemen. And a thrower with 4 agility is pretty big. It means you can really get a lot of points from far away. I think even if you do a +0 pass, it's still a 75% chance of success, which is crazy. Yeah, just absolutely nuts. Maybe it's higher than that. I'll have to look at the agility chart because I don't remember, but it's definitely a very good likelihood of success. And with the catcher too, just having that pair opens up a lot more. It lets the ward answers do what they do best, which is hitting people and getting the ball. So I think the thrower is in order. Reroll is probably something that should be invested in at some point. I think 3 rerolls is needed, but long term can probably wait. They only cost 100 only, I say. But that's very doable. I think filling out this lineup a little bit more with more players is going to be helpful for sure. So yeah, totally good. Thrower, and you're in business. This team is getting scarier and scarier, like all Wood Elf teams do, because this team is pretty soon going to be able to score with pretty much anybody. Or with almost nobody on the field, I should say. Let's look at the Pants Commander side of this. 30,000. Ugh, rough. But level up on the Fnatic. I'm very jealous. This is an injury and an MVP from the looks of it. Yeah, this is almost assuredly a Mighty Blow pickup. I don't see how it could be anything else. You don't care about break tackle. I guess the only thing I would consider getting is grab, but I think Mighty Blow just makes the hitting so much more reliable that you gotta get Mighty Blow. This team, same as always, 80, 110, something was purchased. Oh, I thought he had an apothecary, but maybe he didn't. Don't honestly remember at this point, which is sad because it's only week 4. But yeah, this team has everything already. It just needs to level up its pieces slowly but surely. I'd say save for the reroll. 3 rerolls makes this team a little more reliable, or just, you know, bank it in the inevitable moment where one of these guys gets injured. It's the same situation I'm in, where this team is now pretty much able to do what it wants to do. Hopefully he'll get a little bit luckier. He is 0-1 and 2 at this point, so not the best. Underworld versus, oh god, Amazons. You can see another one of these happened, and I feel terrible for Sid. I mean, there's some confusion about inducements and things like that. Yeah, he's now lost equivalently a player a game at this point. We'll talk about more of that, but basically, Underworld team slowly got the ball in. Mark Code of the game will be linked up here. You can take a look at it. It's a good game to watch, but a little bit one-sided. Sid just kind of did not have things go his way. Some good passing though, so he's still getting some SPP. I'll consider. He got an injury as well, so you know, 9 SPP total here. Yeah, this is just brutal though. So much damage. Yeah, just rough stuff. Let's take a look at the level ups here. The Warpstone Troll got a level up and got Claw, which situation of Mark is pretty happy with that choice, and it's a definitely understandable one. Claw on the Troll is really good. Claw plus Mighty Blow really hurts. Even things with 8 armor value can be a little harder to hit, so Claw is fine. Maybe there's better choices to get in the meantime, but Claw is certainly a good first skill pickup on a single roll for the Underworld team, which has access to mutation. This Goblin is missed next game. Who cares? And let's see here. 70k for Mark, because that's what we want to see. And that went into... Second Throw, I think, was there last week. I don't remember. I'm really bad at remembering what teams buy from week to week sometimes. Especially when things start to get full up, but Underworld team is looking pretty good. Yeah, must have, because he has VP. So yeah, 90,000. Only things left to buy at this point are goblins, so don't. It's probably the solution. I think 3 rerolls and Apothecary is good for this team. Just saving up to replace players is what Mark wants to do at this point, especially the precious linemen, the throwers, and the blitzers. He's doing fine at this point. He just needs to keep hitting, keep leveling up. This team's going to get better. It's slowly but surely going to get very, very annoying. I think he wants more points on his goblins, but it's only so much you can do. Throwers are getting good SPP spreads, so that's all good there as well. So Mark's team getting more and more terrifying as the weeks go on. Let's take a look at poor Sid. Only 40k too. God. 100k total. I don't even know. I really don't know. I almost think buy the apothecary still. This team's got so much devastation here. Like I said, he's missing 3 players now. His team value will be 900 next week. He's got no SPP generation to speak of. I don't know. A lot of things need to go right for Sid to have a good week next week. But still, 2 mercenary players is the end of the world. If you wanted to mitigate that a little bit, he could buy, I would say a thrower is probably the person to buy, but I think you want to buy the apothecary to protect your remaining blitzers, and then save up to buy your 4th blitzer, like we talked about last week. Whoever he plays against, he's going to get a lot of money, one way or the other. Like I said, 900, 950 if he buys the apothecary, which I think he should. So let's take a look at next week. First up here we have, okay, Amazon versus Skaven. We just looked at Sid's team, so we can double check a look at the Skaven team. 1260 here for the team value. So even if Sid buys the apothecary, he'll have 210 available. That's pretty good. Or no, more than that. 310. Jeez. So that's like a wizard and an apothecary and a babe. That sounds pretty good. You could get the halfway master chef too, which could do. I mean, this team doesn't need rerolls, like I said. I mean, it needs them. It doesn't necessarily need to get more than 3, but halfway master chef rolls like Andrew rolled halfway master chef last season could definitely do a fair amount of damage. That said, this team is so damaged. I mean, 950 to 1260 is a huge jump up in ranking. This team just has so much more. Sid has no level ups whatsoever, and yeah, he's got dodge and everybody, but yeah. I think Sid's gonna have a problem taking down the Skaven drive when it gets there. It's possible that he can get lucky and do a ton of damage and not get hit because of dodge, but I think the Skaven team should have this. Might be relatively close depending on how well Sid plays, but I think Skaven should take that matchup pretty clearly. We've got Wood Elves versus Underworld. This I'm actually pretty interested. Now this is going to go, take a look at team values here, assuming Mark buys nothing, which is perfectly reasonable. Let's see here. I'm trying to remember how many mercenaries Andrew will have. So if he buys his thrower, Andrew will have no mercenaries, but plus 90 to his team value. So let's assume he does that. Assume he's following my advice, will be at 1150 compared to Mark's 1170. So no inducements one way or the other. I'm going to say that with the thrower, Wood Elves has this. Just the scoring power is so great. And block dodge. This dodge on this lineman. And tackle. Didn't really look at that, but there they are. I think the Wood Elf team will just have a better chance of just being able to do enough to score more. That's all it's going to take. Just scoring more. That said, Mark could go all out, do a ton of damage, and get the balls in and 2-1 grind Andrew down. So we'll see. I'm still going to get the Wood Elves because things have to go really right for Mark to win this game, whereas things just have to kind of be okay for elf bullshit to win the day. We have a Goblin team versus an Ogre team. I'm actually going to say I think the Goblin team has a better chance in this. The Fanatic can do a ton of damage, Looney can do a ton of damage, and the Bombardier actually is going to do really well because nobody, and I mean nobody, on this team can catch. Just lob the bomb at the Ogres, knock them down. 50% chance to knock ogres down is pretty safe. Let's see, team value counting. We've got, shouldn't be any changes here. Chris at 1080, Pants Commander at 1080, so yeah, no inducements one way or the other, which actually might hurt the Goblin team depending on how quickly the secret weapons go in and out and how much damage they do, but I think that the Goblin team should be able to do okay with this. The extra mobility from the Pogo War should help, just, I don't know. The dodge on the Goblin should help quite a bit, and I don't think Chris has played against anybody like that. I mean, he did really well against Sid, but, I don't know. Ogres are ogres. It's either feast or famine. We'll see. It'll depend on how cautiously the Pants Commander plays, but I think the Goblin team should be able to this. Honestly, it's probably going to be a tie, if I'm perfectly honest. Yeah, we'll call it a tie. Goblins might win, but I think a tie is most likely, based on past play experience. Just because Ogres can be unlucky, and Goblins can be insanely unlucky, but Goblins can also do a ton of damage, as can Ogres. So it'll kind of depend on who gets the ball first, who hits the hardest, who's able to balance things out and score. We'll see. Final matchup of the week is me versus Chaos. I'm feeling pretty good about this, honestly. Depends what this Beastman takes, but I'm feeling pretty good about my chances of winning this game. I've just got, I mean, my team's got pretty much everything it needs, which is nice. But let's look at the team value so we can talk about inducements a little bit here. I'm at 1100 now. We talked a little bit about this before. I don't remember what the total ended up being. Let's see here. 3 players to replace. I mean, you could buy another Chaos Warrior, I guess, but maybe? That's actually what would happen. But I think saving for the reroll is still more important. So if he doesn't follow my advice, oh, actually, you could get the Chaos Warrior, roll a 3 to 4, and, well, there's that. So if he buys the Chaos Warrior, he would only be getting 2 players, so it'd be plus 120, so 810. Okay, so 910 instead of the 890, which makes sense. Either way, I'm giving up over 100 in inducements, so I'm not going to have any bribes. And he's going to have a free reroll, so we'll see. I might end up buying my Bombardier here. I'll do the math. If he gives him a wizard, I probably won't, but well, we'll see. Bombardier could be really useful in this matchup because he can't catch anything. Depends what he gets. If he gets extra arms, I'm more hesitant to get the Bombardier, but that's my thought, is to get the Bombardier. I don't know. I'll think about it. You might see me with the Bombardier next time we play. But yeah, I should be able to win this game, assuming I don't get totally beaten down. I'm just got more skills and more damage, and it should go just fine. I'm a little scared of all the 4 strength, but 4 strength hits against 2 strength goblins a lot like 3 strength does, and his Minotaur will be down. So trolls should be able to win the day. Quick recap for how I think this will go. I believe that we will have a win for Skaven. I believe we'll have a win for Wood Elves, tie game here, and a win for Goblins. So right hand side of the pitch, or of the chart. Let's take a quick look at the Hall of Fame. We'll do rankings first. Sure, rankings first. Skaven on top. Chaos at 4th because they won. Tied with me, basically. Yeah. Oof. Oof, I say. Starting a little division here. Hopefully these teams will catch up. Ogre can definitely do that. Amazon can do that. The other Goblin team can certainly do that as well. So we'll start to see things stratified a little bit, but should be exciting nonetheless. Hall of Fame. Let's take a look here. Not too much change for most experienced players. The best scorer is on the Skaven team. No surprise there. And then the Wood Elf team. Unsurprising there whatsoever. The rest of these just mean who we've ended up scoring with. Best thrower, Wood Elves. Makes a lot of sense. The Chaos team is crazy. We finally got our first interception, which was a troll, which is amazing. Most violent play of these are most injuries. my troll is on here. Surprising to see how many injuries these Skaven teams managed to rack up. I believe this is also a troll on the Goblin team, or maybe this is the Fanatic. I'm not sure. Probably the troll though, and an ogre here. Kind of what we expect here, except for the Skaven team. All these are the more damagey hitting teams. Best runner. Hey, guess what? I'm not surprised to see here. A lot of Wood Elves and Skavens. Yeah, surprised that I'm up here. I run the ball around way too much apparently, but whatever. Best thrower in terms of distance is the Wood Elves team. The Amazon team got some pretty good things here. These are kind of just there, I guess. Survivor still means nothing. And continue mean nothing. Best killers. Slowly but surely, this is filling out here. Yeah, we'll see. Weird to see the elves with kills, but it makes sense because, you know, poor Sid. Best receiver. Apparently I can catch the best, but I think these are still handoffs. So who knows? I don't know. This confuses me. So that's the ranking. Thanks for watching, everybody. Should be a fun week. We're really starting to get into the fun stuff of all these teams are getting skills. Everybody's getting SPP. It's awesome. Anyway, like I said, my name's Thomas. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.